He does not want to go into the mid or late game versus Snute again because that didn't work out as well for him. Let's see how things are going to work out for his temple in the top left, playing in blue, playing for Quantic. It is Hyun.
Nick getting a bit ahead of himself there.
Or maybe I got a bit ahead of myself. That might have been mine bad. Sorry, Nick. But in the bottom right, we've got our Liquid player that we all know and love. He is going to start gas first here on Belshir Vestige in the red, playing for Team Liquid. It is Snute. And luckily, he's opening pool first. That's a good thing for us as a 10 pool, and we all know that.
The number of pool first openings that exactly coincide with the other player is unreal. So obviously these guys are used to pool first on certain maps where the pro players tend to go for early aggression, and it looks like this one is no exception. The 10 pool here should be held off, I think, by Snute, who did go for that pool first as well. And yeah.
Oh my god, the Baneling Nest too. This is not just an ordinary bit of a 6 Zergling pressure to force a cancel on a hatchery first. That is a bit of a legit strategy. I'd say that is a legit strategy. Making 6 links, force the cancel on the hatchery first, and then go back into droning in your own expansion. But this is not that. This is completely... And I think Snute knows. I think he's seen the Zerglings come across the map. He's making a spy crawler. He's got speed on the way. That's going to help his defense, and he's making links, and he's going to need a lot of them.
This is such an amazing series so far, Lillian. I'm thrilled to be casting this. Let's see, we have the first links now moving into the main, immediately pulling some drones to wall off against them, and Snute has some links of his own. But we have a Baneling being morphed in now from Hyun. Will Snute be able to hold on? He's got the spine crawler inside his main base as well. And is he gonna...
position for the spine?
No. I want to see that on the other side of the hatchery, just hugging it so we can still defend the mineral line. But the really, it hasn't even hit once yet, and the queen's going to go down. So not the greatest position.
No, he definitely needs to uproot that and put it in a different position. Where is the follow-up for Hyun, though? He's not going to follow it up with more Zerglings. He's going to go back into droning, which means that Snute is now ahead by 5 workers, and his expansion is going to be a lot earlier. Actually, he sends the drone back. I thought that drone was going to go to the low ground and go for the expansion, but that drone gets sent back into the main base as Snute is chasing down the last few links of Quantic's Hyun. That was a really good defense by by Snute. It could have been even better if the spine was a little bit more forward.
Agreed.
But it was a great defense, nevertheless.
That was, it was a situation where I think if the spine was a little bit more forward, the queen might not have gotten picked off. And that's important because I've noticed that in all of these games, Hyun tends to go and do his damage. And he tends to, I don't know if you noticed, every time he drones up behind his attacks, he kills off the queens and then leaves. So he wants to make sure that he tries to larva starve his opponent. But we do have a counterattack now coming out from Snute. And here's the problem. Previously, Hyun hasn't given his opponent room to counterattack, but now he has. Even though Snute's only killed a single worker, it's not that worker kill that's the problem. Hyun had to make 10 lings to defend against that, whereas normally that would have been another 5 drones, and at this stage of the game we would have been like, hey guys, Hyun's currently ahead 3 or 4 workers despite going 10 pool. Not the case here. Snute is actually ahead 18 workers to 13 and has remade his queen. So that's been the difference between this game and the last one. Well, the last ones, rather.
Yeah, the last ones. I know J-Shark, I know what you mean. We've been casting a lot together, especially in the past. We can almost read each other's mind as good as Tastosis can. As Speed is finished up, this is a big deal. Oh, that Baneling, though. Nice trade there by Snute. Trades 2 Zerglings for a Bane. That's a trade I would take any day. A lot of Zerglings now out on the field with Speed. The Spinecrawler is in a good position at the top of the ramp, but that expansion is still at a bit of a risk.
It is indeed. Needs to be very, very careful. He's not going to cancel. He's going to let it finish, and he'll be able to use that larva to try and produce units to defend with. This Baneling, though, is proving to be very, very difficult to deal with indeed. And the 2 queens are coming down, but they're going to be off creep. And when they're off creep, as you know, Lillian, they become very arthritic indeed. Incredibly difficult for them to hug a mineral patch or hug a hatchery and not get too much of a surface area. But it looks like at this point, Hyun's actually going to move back. And I'm guessing both players are going to sort of settle down here. But the more this game settles, I hope not, because the more this game settles, the more Hyun would fall behind. So he actually needs to go for round 3.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. Sorry, you're making a good point there. He has to finish this game immediately. Every second this game lasts longer, Hyun is going to be falling behind more and more. All the Banelings are dead. and he is in a world of trouble right now. That was some great focus firing by Snute. His Spinecrawler still on top of the ramp, might do good to bring that down, but no, that Spinecrawler is in a good position because Hyun is going to try to run into the main base, and that Spine is going to be able to kill a few Lings here and help the defense even more. Spinecrawler now going to be moving down. Defensive Banelings coming in for Snute. He's defending this perfectly. He is up 15 in supply. He's up in the work count. It's looking amazing.
This situation is just looking more and more pretty for Liquid Snute. He was... I don't think he's actually taken the lead in this series at all. Hyun has enjoyed the lead in this best of 9 until now, and if Snute wins this, he'll go 3-all against the GSL finalist, against the 15-time IPL Fight Club contestant. Hyun is pretty much a legend in his own right, and Snute is going here completely toe-to-toe with him. It's fantastic stuff we're watching.
It is amazing stuff we're watching. That Queen is on very low HP for Snute. Is he going to be able to keep it alive? It is alive, and that was the key to GG. Of course, the counterattack for Snute doing so much damage.
Wow.
Very well played by